your boy Dr. David Anderson, aka Mr. Blackanomics. You know the flavor, you know the routine. On this particular episode, we're going to teach you how you can become a real estate millionaire. It's a very important piece to entrepreneurship, is building assets, becoming asset heavy, and also converting that into liquidity. You know, Bruno Mars put a song out, and he said he wanted to be a billionaire so freaking bad, but he never left the mechanics on actually how to do it. How was he going to get on the cover of Forbes magazine? How was he going to have the queen to go hang out with the queen and go be with Oprah? That requires wealth to be built. So on our Wealth Builder program, which we're going to talk about on this particular episode, we're going to teach you in 10 steps how you can become a real estate millionaire. Right here at taxsaleseminar.com, Dr. David Anderson. Stay tuned.
Buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time.
Alright, so one of the things we're going to talk about, this is a section that we're entitled How to Become a Real Estate Millionaire, is that we got to understand what we're investing in and where. Right now we're in downtown Atlanta, and as you can see, downtown is there, but you can also see major development, extreme development on the infrastructure, all the way from the corner, we're on the corner, Joseph E. Boone and Joseph E. Lowry, old school Ashby Street, all the way up to Northside Drive. This is the hood, alright? Let's just understand where we are. This is the proverbial hood. Some people call this the trap. Right now I'm strapped and I got on a threat level 3 vest underneath this dashiki, alright? This is not where you come to play. However, for those of you that are serious about real estate investing, this is where you put your money in the ground. This right here is what you want to invest in, and as you can see, there's a lot of activity going on, but in a minute, this stuff's going to be worth millions of dollars. You'll never be able to buy this back, and this is the proverbial black community. So for those of you that have a consciousness about your investing, some of you don't even care, some of y'all just want to make money, but some of y'all that got a consciousness in your investing, this means more than money. This means that you'll be able to own here and control some part of the narrative that you as an African American, or you just as an investor, still have a stake in Atlanta. If you don't hold what you own, you'll never be able to own it. Other people outside of your community will own it, and they'll dictate to you how you will behave in your own community. So if this is something that affects you, this is something that keeps you up late at night, when you see this kind of infrastructure being laid, this means the man is coming through, right? And then no longer will you be able to hang out in the street, no longer will you be able to walk around days, no longer will you be able to sell your dope in the middle of the street, no longer will you be able to do these things, because people outside of your community will now own your community. So it's really on you. We're talking about how to become a real estate millionaire, but at the end of the day, it's on you as to what you're going to do, man. This is Dr. David Anderson. We're taking you around. Our next stop's Taser Street. This is how to become a real estate millionaire and the why behind the mechanics of investing, more specifically investment in Atlanta. I'll check you in a minute.
Buy back the block.
So we're at Taser Street. You can go on Google and follow along if you want to be interactive with this. This is how to become a real estate millionaire. One of the things that I always like to do is show proof. You know, a lot of these guys run out here, they do go lives, they do videos, they don't have no proof of what they're talking about. So this right here will serve as proof right now on the camera. You can see this is 356 Taser Street right there, and this is the amount of money that we paid for this property, $10,000 right here. If you can see that right there, $10,000 is what we paid. And this right here is also the deed. All right, so I have a copy of the deed, which is received, tax deed obviously received for this particular property. All right, so you can read the language on here at a later time, but we see that it's $10,000 for the property here that we know as 356 Taser Street. So with that being established, we're here, and you can see we're in the hood. It's a particular shotgun house. It's not a whole lot to it. But the values, if you go on Zillow right now, value should be somewhere between $50,000 and on a low end $35,000. So when we're looking at an investment of $10,000, and you know in Georgia you have to wait 12 months and 45 days to get a value right now value of $35,000. In the next 12 months value next year this time, because keep in mind the Georgia Dome is going up and we're in striking range of the Mercedes-Benz Georgia Dome, or the new Dome as they call it. And of course, we got to keep in mind that the Super Bowl 2018 will be held there. So what is that going to do to the property in this area? We already see what's going on with the infrastructure. So for $10,000, I don't care what this house looks like, it's a damn good investment. All right, I got 9 more properties to show you. This is how you become a real estate millionaire.
Buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the hood. Buy back the hood. I'm about to buy back.
So sometimes when we're out here in the field of entrepreneurship, real world, we run into situations like this. We're at Forest Downs Drive, really nice neighborhood. If you can pan and scan, you can see what's going on here. You look over here, these are really well established, really decent, really quiet neighborhoods. This is what you want to invest in. This is the stability of Southwest Atlanta. And so, long and short, we've got houses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all the 6 down there. We got really well established homes in this neighborhood. This is Southwest Atlanta, close to the airport. We're around the corner from T.I.'s house and down the street from Demooney, where Ludacris lives. But this right here is 5165 Forest Downs Lane. On the Zillow, there's some pre-foreclosures in the area. The lowest thing in here is $75,000. The highest thing in here is about 150, 175 on a very high end. This right here, obviously, we were able to pick this deed up for $3,000. This here obviously is a lot with a foundation. Taxes hadn't been paid in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Taxes hadn't been paid, so we were able to recoup that for $3,000. Now, we know when situations like this come up, we can safely say that at some point there was a fire or some major structural damage, which the family came, pushed the house down so they can not have to pay a whole lot in taxes. And so they serviced the debt for the past almost 10 years, but somewhere along the line they got delinquent, or they've been delinquent for the past 10 years, and the county finally, sold the property. So what does that mean for the investor? Well, right now, you own a piece of land, but if we would put a sign up there that said, new construction, you could build a house here from the company slips my mind right now, but they sell these houses in a box, not necessarily prefabricated houses, but they're panelized home systems. And so you can order a panelized home system on Google for about $17,500, maybe $20,000 tops. And you could put about $10,000 of labor into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath that you can rent out. All right. So your labor costs with your materials and everything will be about $35,000. But if you sell that, you'll be able to get your $150,000 back. So this is more of a developmental deal. It's definitely a land deal. It definitely has some equity in it. If somebody comes here and wants to build, they're going to have to pay you about somewhere between $35,000 and $50,000 cash for the land to build, and it will not be hard to sell this land with a basic sign, MLS, new construction, and let somebody else come in who likes to build houses, likes to work with their hands. Pass that savings on to them. Let them come in here and design a really decent house in a really decent neighborhood in a really decent school system here in Atlanta. Let's go to the next spot.
Buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the hood.
We in the heart of it. ATL. Definitely not the Forest Downs neighborhood. But here we got a 758 South Grand. We picked this house up for $5,300. If you check it out on Zillow, it's right at about $75,000. It's in pretty decent shape right now. Interesting question just came up. Obviously, there's some paperwork on the house and move. Go look at that in a minute. But we got doors open, and we've got brand new windows, and it looks to me that somebody just completed some type of a rehab. So we don't want to violate laws, because here in Georgia you're supposed to maintain, or you're not to do any modifications to the property for 12 months. So that's the law. We need to respect that. But on the other hand, it's going to be real hard, and you can see that it's got code enforcement. It's got a sign up here. It's going to be real hard for the investor to maintain this property for 12 months with the door wide open. So that's going to be a challenge that the investor's going to have to figure out. But either way, we're talking about building a real estate millionaire and getting to that equity. And we're adding the equity up on 10 transactions that we're actually showing you, 10 real transactions that went down, that we got paperwork on, that we got deeds to. And if you're interested in participating in this same way, building your equity so that you can really be worth some money, have a net worth, this is the process in doing that. All right, let's go to the next property.
Buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the block.
We're in the middle of our How to Build Real Estate Millionaires episode. And we're in, obviously we're in Southwest Atlanta. We're in a decent neighborhood. I actually drive by this every day. This is, down the street is the tower site for CBS Radio's WAOK's tower site is at the end of this block, the entrance to their tower site. So I actually drive by this place every day. And one of the things that we want to look at here, this is important. As you can see, this is an old school house in Atlanta. All right, we're at Log Cabin Drive. I believe we're at 2580 Log Cabin Drive. We paid $6,000 for this house, and if you go on the Zillow will probably quantify this house somewhere between $35,000. By the time the house matures, I would put it at the $55,000 range. But let's talk cold turkey about Log Haven Drive. Right? I said Log Cabin, I meant Log Haven Drive. Am I right? Log Haven Drive. 2580 Log Haven. Now, the grass is cut. What does that mean? Clearly, this house is vacant. It's probably grandma's house. Grandma probably passed on, or she's been moved to a nursing facility or something like that. This house is vacant. But what we know is that the grass is cut. So somebody or the people in the community are taking care of that while this house is going through transition. Step 2. This house is paid for. How do I know it? Because most older black folks, when they were told to pay their mortgage, that's what they did. And they stayed in that house for 30, 40, 50 years and paid for that house 3, 4, 5 times over. Part 3 to this. Y'all kids, right, who grandparents stayed in this house and they transfer that property to you, the kids are either on dope or they don't have the cash flow or capacity to service the real estate taxes annually to respect or keep the wealth that their grandparents built and transferred to them. That's an abomination. And honestly, you know what I'm saying? People say, oh, well, y'all just taking houses from other people. But honestly, if you don't have the wherewithal or capacity or the decency to respect the legacy that your grandparents or your parents leave you by paying those real estate taxes, by honoring all the 40, 50 years that they put into paying that mortgage every month consistently so that this can be paid off, and you don't have the decency to honor that, then you should lose that house. And honestly, I hope we buy all of those houses, because if you don't have the decency to keep it, then somebody outside of your community who does not look like you doesn't have that right to participate in that work or that labor. So that's just my philosophy on that. You know, that's just how I see it. Everybody else doesn't see it the same way. But at the end of the day, this is a clear opportunity on what we're experiencing here in Atlanta. And honestly, when you look at other surrounding counties outside of Atlanta, like Gwinnett, like Cherokee, like Henry County, they don't have these kinds of issues of people losing their houses for $6,000 to the tax sale. Come on, man, who does that? The DeKalb and Fulton County are the only counties that I know of in the 159 counties in the state of Georgia that have these many tax liens available every month. So what does that mean? That means that there's something inherently wrong in the black community, that black folks don't care enough about their parents and or grandparents to respect the legacies that they leave. And you're losing your wealth, the possibility of building wealth, of becoming a real estate millionaire. You're losing. You already have it. You're losing it because you don't want to handle the responsibility of being a good steward and paying into the system of what we call real estate taxes. That's the real deal of what's going on here in Atlanta. So until y'all grow up and start being real men and women, start getting on your real estate business, the man's gonna keep stripping you of land that you already own.
Buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the hood.
All right, y'all. Your boy Dr. David Anderson in the street. We are in downtown Atlanta in the middle of what we call gentrification. If you know anything about the word gentrification, the etymology on the word gentrification comes from the word gentry, in the Latin means to move. So black folks are being displaced and moved as we speak in downtown Atlanta, and if you're not participating in the real estate investment, more specifically tax lien certificates and or judicial foreclosures in Atlanta, then you're losing out on a huge opportunity. Right now we're at 650 Simmons Street, and this is in the heart of downtown Atlanta. We are off Beltline. So anytime you see anything that says Beltline, and you can go to beltline.org and read about a gentleman named Ryan Gravel who wrote a thesis statement that said infrastructure promotes economic empowerment. Right? It's a whole nother class. But right now we're at 650 Simmons, and you can see behind me, this house is definitely dilapidated. I think we spent about $7,000 on this house. This house right now with no rehab is valued at $125,000. Let me show you what gentrification in Atlanta looks like. If you just come with me right over here, you can see the house right next door is valued at $295,000 on Zillow. All right. So this is what gentrification looks like in Atlanta. If you go to Zillow.com and type in the house next door, which is 646 Simmons Street, you'll see the value is there. I think the value might even be higher. It might even really be like $350,000, but of course the neighborhood's going through transition. So these are the kind of opportunities that you're missing out on. For a $6,000-$7,000 investment right now, if we don't do anything to it, somebody's gonna have to pay us $127,000. Right? That's $120,000. Even when we take out broker fees and all cleanup fees and all this other type of stuff, you're still looking at $100,000 capital gain. Right? So this is how you become a real estate millionaire. We got still more to show you. Stay tuned.
Buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the block.
All right, I wanted to take a minute to tell you guys about our esteemed Beltline. As you can see, it's running all the way behind me, and this is running straight through the hood. We are on Martin Luther King, all right, down the street from the Mercedes-Benz new Georgia Dome, adjacent to Pilgrim Travelers Baptist Church, and down the street from the first black movie theater and the first high school that African Americans could go to in the state of Georgia. That's Washington High. We're in the middle of the cradle of civil rights, economic empowerment, and black folks who live in Atlanta. This is the Beltline. This was created by a thesis statement for a gentleman named Ryan Gravel, who went to Georgia Tech and wrote a thesis statement that infrastructure increases or influences economic empowerment. All right, so that's infrastructure increases economic empowerment and economic development. All right, and so with that being the case, somebody came up with an idea that in Atlanta we have a circle. 285 is a big circle, about 33 miles outside of the Atlanta proper area. So what that's done over the past 30, 40 years is that's allowed for wealth to be dispersed around Atlanta. So if you're familiar with Atlanta, that's why areas like Gwinnett, DeKalb, Southwest Atlanta, they call it the Cascades, the Marietta area, the Vinings, and of course Sandy Springs, Alpharetta area have all benefited because this circle has gone around the Atlanta 33-mile proper or outside circle, has benefited those areas and those communities. So the premise of people coming into Atlanta to use the water, use the resources, impacting everything going on in Atlanta, and then leaving at night, dispersing, they're actually pulling those resources out of Atlanta. And so when Mr. Gravel wrote this thesis statement for Georgia Tech when he was a student there in 1999, this idea of creating some type of infrastructure within the Atlanta proper area would help to bring back that lost income, that lost revenue. And so, of course, Mr. Gravel in his study found a set of train tracks and figured out a way to interconnect those train tracks that were 100 years old. He figured to go ahead and unearth these train tracks because Atlanta, or Terminus as it was called a long time ago, was an area where slaves would come and they were sold. Slaves were considered stock and they were sold. And so those belts, or those tracks that were unearthed, are actual infrastructure to what we know as the Beltline, what I'm standing on right now. And the premise is to build a infrastructure within the city of Atlanta to be able to bring people back into the city, to be able to increase taxes, to be able to increase amenities and infrastructure, to be able to give people a reduction of the carbon footprint, to increase walking and to increase lower blood pressure and hypertension. Everybody's on their bikes, they're walking their dogs, they're mastiffs in their Bouviers. So this is the new norm that is getting ready to hit everybody in the quote proverbial hood right in the face, because this lifestyle is being created for the individual who has the money and the capacity to reside in Atlanta. Atlanta will no longer look like what it looks like now in the next 5 to 10 years. They're building infrastructure right now, which is going to move those folks who are not prepared to handle the capacity of the taxes and the tax implication to just be on Beltline. So you got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of infrastructure that's happening, and there's a lot of investment that's going on, a lot of money that can be made. But you got to get involved. So we're getting ready to go over to another property. I just want to take a minute to show you guys what's going on here. We're going to go to another property. I have a number of properties that are on the Beltline, but in this particular portfolio, we're getting ready to go over to Harwell Street, which is actually right around the corner, and it's on Beltline. So get your checkbooks ready, and we'll go check them out.
Buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the
Washington Park area. Like I said, we're directly on the Beltline. What we shot in the last scene, you saw the Beltline trail coming straight through. It's actually right there on the 1, 2, 3, 4 houses up, and it's there. We'll see that at the end of this take here. But what we got behind us is we're at 1112 Harwell Street. We're in the heart of what we call Washington Park. This is a historic area in Atlanta. We're directly down the street from the Mercedes-Benz new Dome Theater. Of course, for a lot of you entrepreneurs and real estate investors who will be having the Super Bowl 2018 here in Atlanta, which will be right down the street. They're talking about hotels are already sold out, so there'll be a huge opportunity for Airbnb. And this property behind us we bought for $15,000, and it's on the Beltline. Okay, now if you go to Zillow and you try to figure out the comps and all this stuff, it's not going to even come in anywhere close to what we're looking at. All right, I think Zillow's talking about $41,000, but we know that's not correct. We know this is on Belt. It's not even off Beltline. This is on the Beltline. So we gotta get 100 G's just for that. All right, and there's houses right across the street that are up here in front of Washington Park that are going for $300,000. So there's comps that are super sporadic, all the way down from $7,000 to $300,000. And I'm sure once this thing is completed, to be on the Beltline downtown Atlanta, Washington Park, you're looking somewhere between $350,000 and $500,000. But for right now, we'll just look at what's going on Simmons, which is not too far from around here, off Beltline, where that particular house, which was dilapidated, that we bought for $7,000, came in at $127,000. We'll put that house somewhere near there. But again, we're about 12 months away from, well, maybe even 6 months away from this particular part of the Beltline being completed, which is definitely going to impact what's going on here. So this is definitely a hot zone, something you want to keep your eyes involved on, and it's definitely something that you want to be a part of and be invested in. All right, so we're gonna go to our next spot. Y'all stay tuned.
Buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the hood. Buy back the hood. I'm about to buy back the hood. Buy back the hood.
All right, we're here on 3rd Avenue, right outside of Atlanta, not too far from the airport. This area, let's get to it. We paid $7,000 for it. It's a double lot. Next door we have 2 duplexes, all right, that have gone up. So we actually have 2 lots right here. If you can see, there's a lot of bamboo, a lot of dense brush and everything that goes all the way back. So it's about almost 2.5 to 3 acres of land right here that can be developed. But if we look right over here, which is next door, we have 2 duplexes, and these are income generating properties. I mean, this is serious business over here. So, you know, you can build your foundation down and build up. I don't like to really get into a whole lot of developmental deals. I like to kind of just like clear this lot, put a sign up, sell it to the next man. But values over here are coming in close to about maybe $200,000. You know, it's a duplex. They're income generating property. So this is a land lot deal. This is a land investment. I would probably say, you know, right now for both lots, we could probably get maybe like $100,000 somewhere between $75,000 and $100,000 you can get for the land once cleared to sell to a developer that can come in here and build 2 duplexes. So this is another great buy for $7,000. Your equity is definitely increasing, but stay with us, man, because I got just a few more properties to show you before we tally up our equity count and find out how to become a real estate millionaire.
Buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the hood. Buy back the hood.
All right, class, we're here at 1449 Boulevard, and gentrification is definitely happening in this neighborhood. Right here we got the Prison Industrial Complex, and down on the other end of the block we got the Atlanta Zoo. A lot's happening. This particular property we spent $21,000 for it. If you're following us on Zillow and you type in 1449 Boulevard, you'll see that this property right now is about $75,000 on what they call a zestimate. I believe that a year from now, this property is going to be worth $175,000, and the reason being is that down the street between East Confederate forward, which is I-20, we're getting comps right now for over $500,000 to $600,000. We're off Beltline here, and those properties that are on the Beltline are coming in at between $450,000 and $650,000 in Ormond Park, and we're in striking range of that. So we don't expect to get those kinds of values, but we definitely expect to get a $250,000 to $350,000 value. That in 12 months is definitely worth a $21,000 investment. So here's my premise. Right now, hold this property. When it gets to where it needs to go, you sell it like a rock. And of course, you're going to participate in that equity that's going to help you to become a real estate millionaire. Stay tuned. We got some more stuff to show you. We're not done yet.
Buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the hood. Buy back the hood. I'm about to buy back the hood.
All right, man. We're here, Southwest ATL, shouted. And you can check us out online, 2304 Ewing. 2304 Ewing, all right, and that's in Atlanta, Georgia. We have a value across the street of between $80,000 and $98,000, ranch style, 2-3 bedroom houses, for they're saying 1,700 square feet. I don't know, that's kind of big to me. Probably about between 1,000 and 1,500 square feet. But that's what's across the street. What's here right now that we bought for $2,800, excuse me, is the land. All right, so this is another builder special, and if you like building houses and working with your hands, you can get involved on this project. Or if you're like me, don't really care for all that stuff, you'll put a sign in the yard and sell it for about $25,000, $35,000 for land. So a modular home could be put on here, panelized home systems. You can go to Google and type in any panelized home system. You can probably get a panelized home system for $17,000 and have the amigos put it up and be in it. Probably about 30 G's and get out of it for 90, 80, make quick 50 G's. You know how that goes. So, got more to show you. Equity play on this, $2,800. Value, probably about $35,000. See you at the next place.
Buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the hood. Buy back the hood.
All right, guys. I saved the best for last. We're here in Sandy Springs, Alpharetta, Roswell. You know all of those words. You know where we are. We are not in downtown Atlanta. We are at 960 Holcomb Bridge, and we paid $7,623 for this beautiful commercial piece of property worth about $800,000. If you go to LoopNet and type this address in, it's going to come somewhere between $650,000 and $800,000 in comps. All right. So all of the equity that you saw that was over here has now doubled in one transaction for $7,000. Now, if you want to become a real estate millionaire, we need to get you involved. Go to taxsaleseminar.com. That's taxsaleseminar.com. We need to get you in the class. Enroll in the next class. You can email us info@taxsaleseminar.com. That's info, I-N-F-O, at taxsaleseminar.com, and we'll get you the information for registration. Get registered, take the class, get the information, and then partner up. We're looking for partners. We're looking for people to partner up with. Just like in this situation, we have to keep the partner's name and identity anonymous because she wants to keep her business private. But what she did do is take insurance money from a payout and invest that kind of money into what we're doing right now to build her portfolio, and now her portfolio has a value of over $1.5 million. This is how it's done. We went to every property and showed you exactly what happens, and now we want to offer the opportunity to you for partnership. So again, give us a call, 888-688-1912. We're at extension 2. Or you can email us, info@taxsaleseminar.com. And for you looky-loos that just want to get some more information because you got to make a decision, you got to talk to your wife, and you got to pray on it and do all that other stuff, you can go to taxsaleseminar.com. That's taxsaleseminar.com. And you can get an audio book, you can get a hardback, you get an ebook, you get some digital books. You can even go to YouTube and type in Dr. David M. Anderson Sr., and you can watch all the videos until you get enough money to pay for the class, and hopefully there'll still be property here for you to buy. So for those of y'all that are ready, holla at your boy. We're ready to make you real estate millionaires.
It's time to buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the block. Buy back the block. It's time to buy back the hood. Buy back the hood.
Been getting money since Moby Dick was a goldfish.
Buy back the hood.
If I sold my 9,000 square foot house, real estate, I can buy 3 mansions in the South. Interest rate, I can make the book of sugar bounce. Boy, I used to have a sack in the drought. Coin.